Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Empowering Lives Through an Online Business. And today's topic is
Welcome to Empowering Lives Through an Online Business, EP 42, Breaking the Fear of Being Seen Online.
yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking today. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi, everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, my name is Patsy. I am a mother of four and grandmother to nine. And originally, I'm from Brunei. Now I am digital business entrepreneur and mentor.
Hello, everyone. This is Connie. I'm originally from the Philippines. I'm a wife, a stepmom, and I'm living right now here in the beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sylvia. I'm originally from Zambia. I now live in Canada. I'm a grandmother of five and the mother of four grown kids. And I'm and now uh, and I'm now a happy digital owner.
Okay.
Hello
My
there.
my name is Miriam. I am a mom, a grandma. I've been a registered nurse over 20 years. I am from Jamaica, now living in the United States, and now I am a proud digital business owner.
Hello there. My name is Falak Shirazi. I'm residing in Indianapolis, a proud mom of three. By profession, I'm a teacher, instructor, and nowadays I'm running my online digital business very successfully. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So we also want to remind everyone that every Tuesdays and every Thursdays we do have a free live webinar. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start creating that plan B and that extra side of income alongside your current job, here are three ways that you can learn more about this online business opportunity. You can either put in the comments more info, or you can send us a private message and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Or you can register directly into our website that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch our free webinar. So when you register into our website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. The first one is to register to the live webinar. So that one will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday, one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. Second link is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to our live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you're probably wondering, so what is it that you're going to find out on the webinar? On the webinar, you're going to find out how an online business plan works, but also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So if you want to catch the replay from this past Thursday before this coming Tuesday's live webinar, here were the hosts and panelists for that day.
Our host is Emina, she's a former bank manager. And then we have Robin. She's a healthcare worker.
Quality Inspector, Sanila. Number fourth is Jaspit, former nurse job quitter.
Next is Abina, ECD educator. Brahma is a former financial manager.
And we have Elmina, production, support medical supply, and Bernadette, early childhood educator.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So if you're catching the replay from last Thursday's live webinar, our replays have subtitles in several languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So there you go. So now you know if you want to learn more about this online business opportunity, all you have to do is just put in the comments more info, send us a private message, or register directly into our website that appear on the screen. Now, let's find out what is our topic for today.
So, today we are going to talk about empowering lives through an online business. Episode 42, Breaking the Fear of Being Seen Online.
Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking today. So, welcome back to another episode of the Empowering Lives Through an Online Business. So, today we're going to be talking of one of the biggest fears people face when starting an online business. Well, it's not about skill or knowledge, it's about being seen. The fear of judgment, the fear of criticism, the fear of not being good enough. Those are the fears that people are afraid of, and many of those are usually the ones that we fear when we start this online business journey. Even after we started, we're still thinking about what are the gonna people think about what we're doing. Um, so today we're going to be talking about that. We're breaking down how to overcome that fear so you can confidently show up and share your message and overcome that fear. So for that, we're going to be talking about the following points.
Number one, today's point. Number one, fear of judgment is common. Number two, most people are focused on themselves. Number three, visibility builds trust. Number four, action reduces fear. Number five, imperfect content still creates impact. Let me elaborate a little bit. Research studies shows that fear often grows when we delay action. The longer we avoid something, the more intimidating it becomes in our mind. However, taking even small steps can gradually reduce that fear. Each action builds experience, and experience builds confidence.
Okay, thank you. So those are the points we're going to be talking today. So let's dive in with point number one.
The fear of judgment is very common. According to the American Psychological Association, up to 85% of people experiencing fear of judgment or social evaluation. This fear is normal. It does not mean you're not ready. It means you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Because if we all waited until we let, if we all waited until we felt 100% confident, most of us would never ever start. So instead of seeing fear as a sign of stopping, what if we started to see fear as a sign of growing, that we're stretching into something new, and that exact uh, maybe we're exactly where we want to be. So don't let fear stop you from moving forward.
Thank you, Sylvia. So Sylvia just talked about fear of judgment is common. So, like we mentioned, this is one of the things that we usually fear when we start our journey. What other people are gonna say. What people, and many times, it's not that we like they are judging us. It's also it's actually in our mind that we think that, because
Mhm.
many times it's not really true. But it's us that think that they're judging us for what we're doing. But so you don't need to pay attention to that. Okay, so let's move on to point number two. So point number two is most people are focused on themselves. So one of the biggest fears I had when I began showing up online was this: what will people think? So we touched a little bit on the previous one. So after 25 years in the film industry, I was used to working behind the scenes. But now, stepping into visibility, sharing my journey, speaking openly about change. And visibility, can feel exposing. Especially, I wasn't a person that liked to be in front of the camera. Okay. I like to take pictures and, post it on the social media, but not to actually, share about my personal life or my journey, you know. So when I started this journey, that's what I felt, I felt, I imagined that what people are judging,
Yeah.
what I do, if people are analyzing what I'm doing, or if people are questioning my choices. Um, but here's what I learned and what research confirms. Studies from Cornell University show that people significantly overestimate how much others notice or judge them. It's called the spotlight effect. In reality, most people are thinking about their own responsibilities, their own goals, their own problems, so they're not really watching or judging, what you're doing. So the spotlight that we fear is often much smaller than we imagine. So when I realized that, something shifted. The hesitation starting losing the power. So because the truth is, most people are not studying you every move. You know, that's what we imagine, but that's not the real truth. They're living their own lives. And in our community, I've seen this fear often. And like I mentioned, like this is something that we usually, one of our, like I would say, like one of our rookie mistakes, when we start our journey, is that thinking about that other people are judging us for what we're doing, or thinking or about what we're doing, but it's not really, they're not really focusing on ourselves, it's all in our mind. Maybe some people might, but majority not. um, they're not judging you or saying something about you. um, so I love, but like that's what we think. What we think that what if my work co-workers would see? And that's one of the things that I used to think. Like I was like, oh my god, what are my co-workers are gonna think? Now that I started shifted. I left my film industry to start my online business, totally something different. You know, um, or what my family is gonna question me, because also the family is watching, right? So many times we're concerned about what family is gonna think about what we're doing, or what if people think if I've changed, you know? But the irony is this: the people you fear are watching and are usually too busy navigating their own challenges. And even if they notice, most move on quickly. Okay, so they don't really pay that much attention. So the judgment we fear is often amplified in our minds. Understanding that freed me because it allowed me to show up more authentically. So once I overcome that, I speak more openly. Now I take action without overthinking. And also I stop shrinking myself to avoid attention. But that's a whole process. It doesn't happen overnight. But you have to do it, repetitive, and eventually, you will overcome that. So when you stop assuming constant judgment, you move differently. You become less performative, less defensive, and less hesitant. You realize that growth doesn't require universal approval, it requires internal conviction. And most people are focused on themselves, and that's not a negative truth, it's a liberating one, you know, because we think that they are, but they're not really. So that means that you don't need to live small to avoid imaginary spotlights. So you are far less watched than you think, and far more capable than you are allowed yourself to be. So if we stop imagining those things, we're going to be able to allow ourselves to be more open and share, what we are here to share. Okay, so let's move on to point number three.
Okay, so another research shows Elderman's trust barometer reports that people trust individuals more than brands when they show authenticity online. So when you show up consistently, people connect with you, and they're connecting with you, but not perfection, just with you. And so being visible builds trust over time. And additionally, I want to just come, just kind of liken that to my nursing career, because I've found that, I've been in rooms where stakes are high, it's a matter of life or death. And during those times, I really never worried how my hair looked, or if my voice was shaking, or anything like that, because all your focus is on the person who needed you at the time. So when I first started this digital business, you know, I was hesitant to do that go live. It's terrifying. But what did I do, or how do you stay consistent? So you just do a little bit at a time. You do one post at a time. You just like you know, you're taking care of your patient. You do one patient, one chart, one shift at a time. So everything I'm liking to my nursing career. So and you start small. You share one photo, you share a short video, then a live, and every time you show up, you know, you're you show up imperfectly, right? But your confidence grew because you're consistent. And then you realize the world didn't end. You know, you make mistakes, you stumble over words. It actually make you more relatable, just like Sandy said. So that's my opinion on that. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Miriam. So yeah, so Miriam just talked about visibility build trust. So when you show up authentically, just how Miriam just explained, you know, and you show up consistently, people will start connecting with you, not because perfection, but because you are authentic. So they relate to you.
Mm.
And many times, you know, they say, well, if she can do it, so can I. And that's how you inspire others to take action. Okay, so let's move on to the next point.
Action reduces fear. A study from Stanford University shows that taking small action reduces fear and increases confidence over time. The more you show up, the less fear controls you. Avoidance increases fear. Action decreases it. In fact, studies from institutions like Stanford highlights that consistent small actions help reframe how our brain respond to uncertainty and challenges. The key message is simple. The more you show up and take action, the less control fear has over you. Strengthen fear, but action weakens it and replace it with strong confidence. Thank you. Over to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Falak. Yeah, so Falak just talked about action reduces fear. And a good example of this is like, you know, Mira was talking earlier, you know, about the lives. And we all been through this, you know, we don't like, we, we were afraid. We didn't like to be on the lives, like in front of the camera. But you know, we have to face our fears, and the fears is by taking action. So the more you do it, the more that fear start to dissipate, you know, and then eventually, you know, it goes away. But always fear is gonna be there. But the key here, after you know, after you overcome the fear, and then if it shows again, because it will shows again. I mean, I've seen it with my own experience. Um, but the difference is here now you know what to do to overcome the fear. So that's the difference here. You know that you have to take action. Okay, so next point.
Imperfect. Imperfect content still creates impact. Oh. Hotspot reports that consistent content creators generate 67% more engagement, regardless of production quality. People connect with real, not perfect. Your message matters more than how polished it is. A lot of people wait. They want the perfect lighting, the perfect words, the perfect timing. But the truth is, people don't connect with perfect. They connect with real. In fact, studies show that consistent creators get more engagement regardless of how polished it looks. So if you're holding back because you think you're not ready, just start. Your message matters more than perfection. Thank you. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Connie. Yeah, so Connie just talked about imperfect content still creates impact. Yeah, and like another one of the rookies mistakes that we do when we start our journey is that we think that we have to have everything perfect, to, in like a content or things like that. But the thing is, like, perfection doesn't allows you to move. You stay in the same position because you're always trying to say, oh, you're always going to find something that is not, it doesn't look perfect. So then you don't move. But when you just do it like that, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, and just do it. That's when you start moving, you're creating that momentum. So that's because if you're doing that, people connect with that because they're connecting with your authenticity. You don't have to be perfect. We are humans and not perfect. So that's why it creates more impact to be authentic, to be raw. So let's move on to the last point.
Your voice can help someone else. Research from Nelson shows that 92% of people trust recommendations from individuals over any form of advertising. What you share can inspire, guide, and or encourage someone else. When you stay silent, someone misses a message they may need. It's important that we don't remain silent, that we're supposed to say out, and then people will get the message. So whatever we share, we are going to inspire and encourage someone else. So our voice is very important to in this media to encourage other people. Over
Thank
to
you,
you,
Pat.
Sandy.
Thank you, Patsy. Okay, we do have a comment here from Samira. Samira says, "Hi, very informative session, and I gained valuable new insights today. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Samira, for your comment, and thank you for watching the live with us today. And also thank you for your like emoji." So,
Yeah.
Patsy just talk about your voice can help someone else. And yeah, that's one of the things that, many times, when we started with this journey, we have that fear of sharing our story, of sharing our journey. But you know on the other side of the screen is someone else who needs to feel inspired, and many times, your story will inspire someone else that will relate to your story. So that's why it's important to not to stay silent, but to also share your message. And I think that's one of the things, I know personally. I was struggling at the beginning of my journey because I thought that, my story, people wouldn't relate to my story. So because I tend to compare to other people's stories. So I saw the other people's were powerful, and I thought, oh, my story is not, people are not gonna connect with my story. But someone out there will connect with your story. So it doesn't matter, if somebody connects to the other person, there's going to be someone who will connect with your story. So you have to share your message because you will inspire someone out there. So you never know who you might touch on the other side of the screen. All right, so what is our key takeaway for this topic?
Okay, our key takeaways is
Oh, okay, there you go.
a key takeaway is fear of being seen in is natural, but it should not stop. Growth happens when you allow yourself to be visible, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Yeah, or sometimes we can take some quiet moments, quiet conversations with ourselves, the ones that are gently but powerful, and reflect on somebody else's life, and without even realizing those small little starts that shift something inside you, It changes how you see yourself, how you see your life, and slowly it begins to change your direction. So just take away these key points and change a direction if it needs to. Thanks, Sandy.
Okay, so what is our message for the audience?
Um, so take one small step this week. Post something, share your thought, show up, comment visible below as a commitment to step forward.
Thank you, Connie. So yeah, so we have arrived to the end of our lives. So we hope so that you learned something today on how to break in the fear of being seen online. And like something very common when we start our journey in our line business, because I think my internet is a little bit bad. Sorry about that. My apologies. Um, so yeah, so sometimes like when we start this journey at the beginning, we usually have that fear of so many, fear of what people think, fear of showing up online, on like people seeing us, fear of sharing our story, um, fear that we don't have that confidence, that to be able to do it. But along our journey, we learn to overcome that fear by showing up, by being consistent, by understand that, many times, those things that we imagine are not really truth. It's all in our imagination. So once we understand that, we're able to overcome that and then be able to show up and share, the message. We also, we learn that, that if we share our message, we get to inspire other people, and that can make a change on someone else's life. We also, like learn that people relate to imperfection, not to being perfect. And then, like in many years, ago, well, not that many years ago, but the social media used to be all about perfection, and people were used to that. But it got to the point where people realized, well, that's not the real life, that nothing is perfect, and that's when people are starting to sabotage those influencers that were pretending to be everything is like good and when it's not really good. And that's why, social media has changed now to really show both sides. Yeah, because we always have the positive, but we also have the negative, um so not all the journeys or all the time, highs. We have our moments where our motivation goes down, and but that's what it feels relatable to the people who are watching on the other screen, because that's we are humans, that's how we are. We have our moments where we feel motivated, but we have our moments that we share. The failures, for example, failures is one thing that many times people see it as a negative, but there's actually a positive side of it. It depends how you look at it. So those are the things that has changed in the social media. So it's not about being perfect, it's showing you authenticity, be you, be the raw you. So people will connect with your story, with how you show up online. So if you want to learn more about this online business opportunity, how you can be part of a global online community that supports you, that motivates you, that is with you along your journey, so you're never alone on this journey, here are three ways you can learn more about it. You can either put in the comments more info, send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have, or you can register directly into our websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch our webinar. So when you register into a website, you will receive an email with two links. The first one is to register to the live webinar, so you can register for either day or both. So we have free live webinars every Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time, so 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, 7 p.m. CST, and 8 p.m. EST. So it's the same time for both days. And the second link you get there is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. So there you go. So now let's find out what is our topic for next Friday.
Topic. Oh, next Friday topic is episode 43, Progress over Perfection. Why imperfect action wins.
Yes, so that's what we're gonna be talking next Friday, because because waiting for perfect often delays progress. And that's what we were talking earlier. If you wait for perfection, you're not moving; you're staying on the same place. But when you forget about perfection, and then you're able to move and you create that momentum, and you are able to go and achieve your goal. So, saying that, we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. We want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Saturday for those who are on Saturday, and happy and blessed Sunday for those who are on Sunday, and happy and blessed weekend ahead for everyone. So thank you again for being here with us today, and until the next episode of the Empowering Lives Through an Online Business. Thank you everyone. Thank you for watching, and God bless you all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.